talk with me, Nornock, and Shadowhawk here. Yep,
Hello.
yeah. As always, there's quite a bit to talk about, especially on two big things. Well, first of all, first is the more details and a more release date trailer for Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Second,
So it seems that at least the biggest thing that caught my eye is that Mass Effect 1 will also end up being not just simply graphical touching, but will also have its gameplay elements revamped to more mirror what would happen in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
yeah, and also we'll be talking about, of course, the Fallout, no pun intended, of that Fallout mod, the Frontier.
The Frontier.
Yeah, let's get this out of the way, and a fair warning, it'll have some pretty dark adult subjects. So for a while, the Frontier mod was actually hidden because one of the developers, who goes by Zeus the Stunk, I'm not kidding, has been kicked off the team and banned from that mod's Discord servers because he made some really inappropriate content online.
I guess trigger warning for
Yes.
child
Pedophilia.
pornography,
It's
basically. Basically.
He posted some pedophilic stuff, like My Little Pony stuff. I'm not making it up. It's something else. I wish I didn't know about it, but there we go. And like I said, for a while, it was hidden so the developers of that mod would get rid of the assets that he assets, mostly artwork for the like the Pip-Boy icons and stuff. Doesn't really excuse the rest of the content that this mod has, and which and speaking of which, they have we released the mod back. They put the mod back up with all the as far as to my knowledge, all the questionable content, such as the lizard people, questionable lines for various characters, and like assets and voice lines from people who do not want to be associated with the mod anymore because of these constant controversies.
Breaking bones and breaking hearts.
So at least also it seems that some of the other stuff though, like for instance, like the Deathclaw that you can have sex with was meant to be Wild Wasteland, and it seems that some of this other stuff was, or at least a great deal of other stuff was supposed to be, but never actually got itself attached to that.
Yeah, probably
so
tagged.
Because there was probably tagged as much. I don't think the stuff would have been good, but at least it would have made much more sense to me if that were the case.
Yeah, it sounds too convenient because first of all, none of the mods caught this over the years. Merely because they're the way their team works is pretty disorganized, so it's more like
that was another problem, was that at least from what I read, or at least also watched in the one video where one of the guys actually managed to talk to the Frontier devs a bit on it, where apparently it was widely disjointed, so everyone was working basically very separate from each other, only barely communicating between each person. And also the reason why the NCR quest turned out what it did, at least partially,
it's because its
writer was extremely protective
yes.
of the material that he was writing, and they would not allow him to touch it.
The amount to be exact,
if
Devil's
they touched
Wish.
it, they would have lost him, and because he was their only scripter, it would have basically been a death sentence for the mod.
Yeah, which...
So they were in a situation where they had to let him do whatever story he wanted to do, or else the mod that he wanted to accomplish would never have gotten done.
Yeah, which is... not...
Which is always the main moral of the story here. No person should ever be seen as being too good to put up with.
I'm down. I need to get back in. Ready.
Yeah, and you thought some of the problems in the game industry are bad.
Yeah, definitely.
I got 2 down, but Pathfinder got me. So, yeah, it's really sad state of affairs. It had a lot of potential too, especially with the
because some of the
vehicles
are actually really good. the idea of the NCR Exile is actually a quite compelling idea, since the war in the that was going on in the Mojave was portrayed as being very split, though, sort of like what in the real world we had with thoughts on our involvement in Vietnam or Afghanistan.
Afghanistan,
So
Iraq, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so therefore I could see that basically in this post-apocalyptic world where there would have been a fraction of the military, or at least some section of them, at least splitting off though, or at least maybe being exiled for it. I didn't like the framing of it, which is that this group was somehow so popular, but Kimball, I guess, exiled them for fear of what they would do, which makes kind of no sense because
Somehow,
how would the
suddenly,
president be
all
able
these
to-
they got all these vertibirds and tanks and cars.
and a flying aircraft carrier. So, yeah, because I'm saying, like, I like the idea that it's posing in, but I find its execution to be very shoddy. I said in the last stream, but, like, if you wanted to have, like, this splinter group who at least believed in what they were ideally fighting for, but felt that what they were doing was against those odds, try to frame the splinter group as being much less capable than the other one, as a group that's still trying to find its footing since they no longer have the resources that they had.
Yep.
I mean, there's actually even precedent for that. That was the East Coast Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 3, even. And
Yeah, and from what I've heard, that some of the devs don't even like either New Vegas or the franchise as a whole, which is strange to say the least.
they were probably working on the mod because they found it as a way to be able
Yes.
to put on the
resume.
for it.
Yeah,
As
a resume.
As Asuka Game Dev said, though, is that, like, if you actually did extensive mod work, like stuff that could even be as big as what the Frontier is, you could actually use that as a way to flesh out, hey, I actually worked on this.
You get here by winning. Good luck.
Yeah.
So I could see it as that, though. I mean, I don't really mind that in principle because, honestly, I really
Reckon
feel
we
as
crash
if we
landed
shouldn't
Poppy there.
bar people from working on a game because of them not liking
Yeah.
the series there.
Those
I
starting-
can understand not wanting them to be writers, I can say, because, yeah, if they're going to be writers of a particular franchise, you want to make sure that they at least, you know, like it to one degree or another.
Yeah, that's-
Whereas having them who either don't care or don't like could be issues.
Yeah, that
If
could be
they're
issues.
things like designers, artists, if they're even people who are gameplay programmers or whatever, I think in those sort of roles, it shouldn't really matter if they end up liking or not liking the franchise.
Though they're working on a mod, studying how the game works, seeing the cooks and nannies of it, it's essential, to say the least. Oop.
So, yeah. So that's why I say, like, I'm not against the idea of it,
Evo
but
shield here.
I would,
Level 1.
I would actually end up saying that as long as at least they're not writers, I would say that's overall okay to really be with, though.
Yeah. Yeah, so
But
kind of.
so far with the mod, it's that, like, even though with it, because I don't have a PC, I was never able to play it, but at least I did like a lot of the ideas that were being presented, because it seems a case where these guys have good ideas, but they were punching above their own weight, basically. As well as I would also say that they also needed to have better, better, more consistent area of what their stories were going to be, because it seems they had stories they wanted to tell, but they wanted to lump all these into the main quest so the players would actually play them. Like, that's how you have things where you have a space sequence where you deal with an actual space Nazi, and then you end up in the, not too long after, then you're dealing with the topic of a soldier who actually had her squad gunned down, crucified, and then she was raped by the Legion commander as a sex slave, which is like, yeah, that's a really heavy fucking topic.
Yep.
And it's kind of like a huge tone shift, like a total 180 to go and pull something like that. Like, as the guy in the video said, that, like, Fallout can be silly and it can be serious, but the idea is never to put them both in the same time.
Oh my god. Oh, I know.
So again, it's like that thing of trying to have balance with it. But I would say for the devs, because I'm not going to really brag on them too much, which is, I like it, at least ideally what you guys were going for. Keep your heads up high and try to be able to do some more work that you can, and I promise you'll be able to create something that's really great.
Yep,
Trust me,
I definitely agree. And I was actually talking to one of the developers who was formerly involved, and And I actually told them that that to express my surprise that there aren't any like say sort of car races in the mod for in the mod. Understandably because they didn't, but they didn't because
Closing in 60.
imagine the work you have to do and imagine how many
Do
things
the work of what?
to like pull off a car race like racing with other opponents. And
yeah.
and to see how many ways it could go wrong. Like if I remember right, the AI decided to be dumb and crash into a obstacle or each other. So I quickly came up with another suggestion: time trials, which
And also to not, and also if you're going to have 3 separate factions, at least have them similar in length to each other instead of one getting virtually 80% of the content and the other 2 factions getting like another 10% each. Is the other one.
yeah, what were they?
I think it's because they wanted, at least if I were to guess, it was that they wanted the NCR to basically be like, the NCR Exiles to be like the main focus.
Yes.
But I still feel as if it's a bit too lopsided, to have gone down the route of what they did here, which was basically,
Here's another fun fact. It's so the mod itself is about like 12 gigabytes of it's 12
that's actually even more than the actual base game, so it's virtually its own game.
Yes, and if I remember right, part of the reason why is because of the sheer size of the textures, like I think 4K, 8K textures. Holy hell!
So yeah, that's what I mean. These guys are on a technical level are very talented, and so I would like to see them have their work done to them in a way better light. So that's what I mean by saying keep your heads up high. Like, yeah, you produce a stinker, admittedly, but trust me, if you're going to be making games, that's what anyone is going to deal with. Anyone's going to have their stinker at some point.
I accidentally put the arena fire around you. Sorry.
Nothing?
I actually put the arena fire around you. So yeah. So long
Oh,
story
it's
short, good technical stuff in that mod. The story is questionable, and it's like really questionable and quite shoddy. That makes like even the worst entries in the
But at
policy.
least the message I would impart, at least devs of the Frontier who work on it, like, keep your heads high, although keep in mind, the Skunk guy is not included in this, just for clarity's sake.
Yes,
Um,
and be sure
yeah,
to
for the
vet
rest
your
of them-
devs properly, because I'm looking
So
at
it's
the
like-
stunt guy because wow, that went bad so quickly,
Yeah,
and
it's like,
and
keep your
partially
head held high.
and partially because of 4chan, and for some reason calls themselves the Sneak Clave. It's a reference to The Simpsons. Long story short.
Interesting. Well, yeah, just mainly keep your heads held high, and I would like to see what it is they produce in the future. Just, I would say, with try to at least work out your writing skills better, and mainly just try to make it to where you mainly just try to take feedback that you're getting and
don't automatically dismiss it as hostile stuff, because understandably, because the 4chan stuff, it all happened because one of the developers said on a stream that they compared the Enclave to a fascist power fantasy and full of Trump supporters. Fair phrased, but I think you get my meaning.
Although I wouldn't say that's wrong, really.
Yeah, when Arcade Cannon made a similar point, but if I remember right, one of the developers from the Old War Blues mod for Hearts of Iron 2 said that it makes sense for Arcade Cannon to say it, but not for the player to say it, because to put it simply, it would take that type of agency away.
Since, like, the player, well, I would say mainly just because the player wouldn't really know much about who the Enclave is, really, because the Courier never actually involved with them, because the Enclave would have already been gone.
Yeah, aside from the Remnants, but aside from the Remnants.
Like, as I said, like, if you want to have them a sort of evil faction to join, I would say fine, but I can at least see that criticism leveled at it, because unfortunately...
Yeah, I can easily see it not as a faction to join, but something like you would do with Elijah in the Dead Mind DLC, a non-standard game over.
Yeah,
That
something
that
like
that that ends poorly for everyone involved but you.
I mean, it doesn't even really end better for the player because they're basically stuck in a park for God knows how long.
Yeah, I do like the idea of this of an enclave space station. Though I'm not quite sure how it would fit in the lore.
I think it would overall be a decent idea for it, but just more so to not make it like. Or I guess you could go either goofy or serious, but mainly just that if you're going to choose one or the other, make sure it is firmly those things.
Yeah, though you could have a little bit of goofiness in seriousness, or vice versa. Just a fair warning.
Like, it's one thing if the goofiness is from, like, the Wild Wasteland mod, since really it was just always inserting references to things like when you're fighting with the NCR and the emergency radio says, they're coming out of damn walls.
Yeah.
Like, it's a goofy sort of thing, but honestly, it fits well enough. It at least doesn't feel like something that is, like, out there.
Battling the enemy. Hunt down the hostile.
That one. Okay, I'm gonna heal up. So, anyway, I think that's enough about the Frontier. Let's lay it to rest. Although I had some really good, I had some like ideas running in my head if I would do like my own treatment of the mod. I wonder how often it snows in Portland.
How what?
I wonder how often it snows in Portland.
Good question, because I honestly don't know.
Yeah, if it snows like that often like that in the Frontier, that might be accurate. I know it sounds like nitpicking. Just like, is that really feasible? Is that really accurate for the compared to real life? If not, actually, is to see explaining like weather experimentations. There's like everything involved is just like experiments just gone wrong. It's like part of the setting.
Target spotted.
Right, bringing you back. Drop wise from your grave. Sorry, I can't help myself.
Yeah, it's fine.
So anyways, let's get to the good stuff. The Mass Effect Remaster, aka Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Now for the right choice.
So yeah, definitely glad that this is coming out since it'll introduce a new section of players into, right back into this whole universe, and also there'll at least be something to hold us over until we get Mass Effect 5, I guess, basically.
Or Mass Effect 4. I think John would say like a spin-off or something.
Whatever it's going to be called, though. I just say 5 just because I'm speaking like production-wise.
Makes sense. Right. Ah, crap. Alright. Ooh, crap. 2 hostiles ahead of me.
Following the path to you. Hunt down the hostile.
Come on. Okay.
To hold us over, but yeah, it at least there will be something that's going to be coming to the store as well, and especially with more updated graphics.
Yeah,
So far, it's great that it looks really.
Yeah, it looks
awesome,
really good. I'm kind of glad that they're bringing in like FemShip, the default FemShip from Mass Effect 3 into the previous Mass Effect games. Also, and I do have to add that Brie Larson will make an excellent, if not perfect, female Shepard. Because, I mean, look at that jawline for both her and FemShip. Look at that jawline.
I think she would definitely fit for it. I don't really know if Mass Effect could ever properly be adapted as far as it goes, but you know, she certainly would be a fit.
Yeah, I say it in jest, but Dane, look at that jawline. I'm just saying. So, yeah. So there I also saw like the gameplay tweaks and the UA has been overhauled. The UA for Mass Effect, UI for Mass Effect looks fabulous. It's a work in progress. But for a work in progress,
And at least it's coming in May, so at least fortunately, it's not too far out.
May 14th.
May 8th, was it?
No, May 14th. Instant pre-order from me.
That's right.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wouldn't have multiplayer for Mass Effect 3 and Pinnacle Station for DLC, because for multiplayer, it would just take way too much work.
I don't even know what the Pinnacle Station DLC actually was.
Basically, arena, basically where you go on this like the station where you do like virtual reality, like you know the
Wasn't that
Arsenex
Mass
Arsenal,
Effect 1?
yeah, Arsenex Arsenal style arena style battles where you go against VI enemies. Is
So I would say since Mass Effect 3 already has that, so you could still experience the same thing.
yeah. The reason why they didn't
And
have the
also the
Pinnacle,
DLCs are coming with it. They're
High
coming packaged with the whole thing, so you'll still be able to play that even if it's not in the Mass Effect 1 gameplay engine.
yeah.
Or whatever we're gonna call it.
So for the reason why they didn't have the Pinnacle Station
Copy
DLC
that.
and why the PS3 version didn't have it, because the source code for that DLC has been corrupted.
Corrupted.
Yep.
And that also includes the voice lines as well. So
Oh,
trying
shit,
to
really?
actually do all of it would have basically been them doing the entire mod from scratch.
Start the DLC from scratch. Yeah. So as much as it's not very important in the grand scheme of things, it is unfortunate that it is not included.
Although I'm told that it was a very poorly received DLC as well.
Yeah, like I said, it's not that important in the grand scheme of things. It's just like it's. How should I put it? Very basic.
Attention. I'm down.
Alone.
Right.
I will come.
Ah, crap. You got gunned down instantly with every land. Thank you, Jack.
Shooting at me?
Whoa!
Down. Whew. They actually got hit.
I will assist you.
Alright, getting you up. So. So. And. What else is there to talk about? For the Mass Effect 3 and stuff? Just like. Yeah, the overall story wouldn't change. Understand it because they didn't want to tarnish anyone's memory of how the game works. And tweaking the story is just a pain in the ass. Yeah, sorry for like
I mean,
bug
so
fix-
far I love the story as is, though, and yeah, like, it'll always just be something that I'm glad that they're still keeping overall intact for it.
So they wouldn't like.
I mean, because as I said, I really like how it ended with it. Sure, I prefer the revised ending more than the, like, quote-unquote, very original, but I don't feel that it was a major tweak of it. Basically, just what I like to consider more clarification of what happened.
Yeah, that's what the extended cut DLC is. Just clarification and as in a variety of outcomes that were lacking in how it was originally
But now, admittedly, that can of worms is most likely going to be opened once the next Mass Effect comes in as well, because it's going to be like, so okay, so Liara's in this, so what happened?
yeah. Basically,
Like,
it seems like
to actually try to get to answering that question or trying to not answer it is going to be very tricky.
what's this about Liara?
Huh?
What is this about Liara? You mentioned
Well,
like
because Liara is confirmed to be coming into the next Mass Effect,
Oh.
and it's shown that she's in her matriarch stage at this point, with the extra wrinkles that she has on there.
so it's like
and
so
also-
her survival is canon. That's
Yeah, she actually will be in the next Mass Effect. Even Ollie Hollis was even talking about it as well on her Twitter.
Oh shit. Okay.
So yeah, that's why they had her be in focus, because she's going to be someone who will essentially tie this new game and whatever it will be, which, because let's be honest, since this game will most likely be successful, it means we're no doubt going to get sequels down the line. And then when asked about whether or not this would be, because I saw some plenty of disappointment from people on Twitter who were disappointed that it looked like Andromeda was basically being shelved and so its lead designer basically is just saying to at least hold off before we at least go on anything in that area. So
10 seconds.
who knows
Ring is
exactly
close.
what'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I do hope so, because I did still like the Andromeda story, even if I felt, though, that at least it wasn't
I honestly,
fully living up
yeah,
to
if
its
I haven't said
potential.
before, I honestly prefer 2 and 3 over 1 and Andromeda.
Firing.
Prefer what?
I prefer when it comes to like I do like the structure of Mass Effect 3 and 2 and 3 more than the structures of it's just than the structure of 1 and Andromeda.
But regardless, I still at least want to see that area explored. So since at least it looked like he was giving the implication, especially with the teaser trailer showing the Milky Way and Andromeda.
Oh,
Galaxy in the same
I screamed at the top of my lungs when I first saw that. It's like, wait.
Yeah, he said yes. That was completely intentional on their part to do.
What? What was intentional?
Like, the actual showing of Andromeda and the Milky Way in the same frame, because it was meant to at least imply to something that'll be going on. So I'm presuming that this will be the one where, like, the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy will actually, like, meet up, basically.
I always wonder what the next protagonist would be like.
What the what?
The next protagonist would be like. And in other
The next
news,
protectors?
yeah, the protagonists.
Protagonists will be. That's definitely a good question, but for me, I'm very much curious as to the N7 helmet that Liara finds, though, when she ends up finding it. It definitely couldn't have been Shepard's, considering that was on Earth, and I highly doubt that Earth was, like, left in that kind of state for that.
It might just be for iconography's sake.
Huh?
Might be worth might just be for iconography.
I mean, it could be that, but it's very clear that when she holds it, that she's looking at it very much like with Prize, but also is looking like she's attached to it in some way. So then, like, yeah, it could all iconography is definitely from a marketing standpoint one of them, but the other aspect also being that clearly it's meant to also tie with the story on this as well, for that. So in this case, I'm wondering, like, could it be a piece of armor from one of the riders, for instance, and that's why, like, with finding it, she's, like, given hope for it?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Another thing they wanted to
Because
see.
looking apparently, according to the lore of what the Andromeda Initiative was trying to also be, at least publicly, was also that as time went on, they wanted to re-establish contact with the Milky Way and actually set up something similar to the Mass Effect relays to sort of connect them between both galaxies.
Right. So a couple of the things that will be actually be added in is the unified character creation with makeup and hairstyles, especially black hairstyles, and I do see like the comparison of the character screens.
So basically, whatever you create your character with in Mass Effect 1, you will just transfer that over to Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Easily, a lot more easily than compared to the original counterparts,
where you basically had to always do all of it from scratch.
Yeah, you don't
unless you had the import character save.
Yes. And I did see like the comparison of what Black Shepard looks like in 3 in the games, in the original games, and the remastered version.
Mm-hmm.
Day and night, it looks a lot better.
Yeah, so really looking forward to seeing this very soon. I'm hoping at least I get the Xbox One before that happens.
The Xbox Series X.
Just that way I'll be able to play. Yeah, the Xbox Series X when it comes out, because I really want to play it in the updated with the newest console in mind.
Oh, I'm down. So, and another thing that here's something really interesting. They're going to add in a song made by one of the composers that was originally originally cut.
And which was that one?
No idea. It was pretty vague. Also, and also you can have the option to skip elevator rides. Elevator rides, even though the loading points aren't as approved. Just to let you know, it's probably not a good idea to ride me when there's a.
I actually didn't even know he was there.
Alright, fair
I
enough.
looked around and didn't see him, so I just went to you.
Alright, fair enough. So, yeah. Really looking forward to see how the Legendary Edition unfolds. I'm confident that it will unfold quite well compared to previous compared to their previous games like Anthem and especially I kind of like Anthem and Andromeda. They didn't do that well. I'm surprised that. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they sold well because of all things. You know what I mean?
That what sold well?
Anthem sold relatively well and is receiving an overhaul. Looking forward to see how.
Yeah, clearly for that one. I'm still really looking forward to seeing where that is, but since they only have a 30-man team working on it, that's why it's taking so long for them to do, as opposed to other rehauls where most of the dev team was kept on for it.
Yeah, it looks like they're busy with other games, which is why Anthem has been really slow.
Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see what it is. I do have the very hope and confidence that once it actually has its revamp, that more people will be coming in. Though, of course, it could also be the case that it just also won't be that.
Yeah, let's hope it's not like the Avengers game that undersold. It did.
And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's getting any better.
Yeah, that Avengers game had promise. You know, with the main story and everything. The story, it looks really good.
Yeah, that's what I've been told, is that the story held up, was actually pretty good on it, but just mainly that the main issue was just that the gameplay just wasn't quite there.
Yeah. It had promise. It's kind of sad to see it. Anyway, back on to pretty sad news that one of the founders one of the co-founders of ZeniMax, and
he was actually the founder of the company. Actually.
Oh shit, Robert A. Altman. He just passed away. And
yeah, and I've been seeing a lot of Bethesda employees tweeting about him, and they were all saying very, very much the same message, that he was a guy who was really approachable, and he was someone who always had a lot of faith in the dev teams for what they wanted to do.
Even with the Wars products, which is saying a lot.
Like, one of the leads on the Elder Scrolls Online even mentioned as much when it didn't have its not-so-hot reception, and he just had confidence in them until they got the game that they wanted.
Don't get your budgie smugglers in a twist. It's just your old mate.
And just to let you know, I saw. You also just see that username 10 White Kids. That's just really weird.
What's weird?
I just saw that the name of the champion is named 10 White Kids. You
Wait,
didn't see that?
The game was too loud. I had to turn on the game volume.
God damn it! Could you?
Hold on tight.
I just saw our teammate just like. Do you want to go with them or just like just go off on our own?
Forget it. He's already going in his own direction.
Yeah,
so I'm just heading here where a lot of the other players.
Speaking. So on Twitter, Apex Legends and Angela Clark have explicitly noted that Bloodhound is
non-binary,
yeah,
which is like, this has been news for a while, really. I always thought that it was confirmed for, like, as long as Bloodhound has been around.
And some people are being rather uppity about it because...
Of course they will be, because
assholes.
after all, again, for a bunch of people who are, I don't care, but you certainly love to tweet about it and talk about it for for someone who doesn't care.
Have you done a scan? I thought it was Bloodhound and not... I just got hit by my own knuckle cluster.
So yeah, I mean, as far as I just say that, yeah, it's always been the case, and I've always respected that Bloodhound is non-binary, because again, calling someone by they, them pronouns is not some, like, impossible task. I just say they, them. I mean, heck, you do that for people you don't know anyway.
Yeah, just be on the safe side, because it's actually grammatically correct. It's not a recent thing.
Like,
It's been
yeah,
a while.
so it's not even unfounded to do so. Like one of my coworkers who I thought was a he, turns out that was they, turns out to be a he. So I was like, okay, so he it is, and that's what I call him from now on.
Yeah.
Like really easy.
Might be something good this way.
Where the fuck is Blood? Where? Jesus Christ! All the way over there?
I don't know why he took off without us. Though.
Why?
I
I have no idea
idea
why they. I'm going with they. Well, partially because the Bloodhounds. They're playing Bloodhound, and I don't know who Saucy went. Yeah,
Right.
It's
Well, regardless of where they went, it looks like we're just gonna have to be on our own for this one.
though. To be honest, I'm quite surprised that they managed to make it. They managed to make it, barring their shields and everything.
Make what?
Like make it most of the way over here. I'm honestly surprised. So anyway, yeah, I'm a little. You know, it's just such a. Do we have any idea what happened to him? What made him? What caused him to pass away?
We're a bit spread out, eh?
I haven't seen anything that says as to what caused him to pass. For it. It just seemed to be more of a sudden thing, though, is what I understand.
Yeah.
Because then again, no one who is actually close to him has actually said why, so we may know the details later on in life.
Later. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, later on in time, maybe someone who is close to him will go and say, hey, yes, Robert ended up dying because of cancer or, like, some other condition.
Yeah.
Because I don't really think it'd be of old age, because he's not even that old.
Yeah, I kind of figured as well. Makes me kind of sad. Reminds me of what happened to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that was definitely quite the gut punch when that ended up happening.
We're inside
Yeah.
the ring.
When
Positional
I remember when I was really
I know a
sad.
lot of people were very much annoyed when Da 5 Bloods, which I believe is the last film he made, if I remember correctly, got snubbed this year for Oscar nominations because, again, another reason why I never take them seriously.
Kind of like with The Dark Knight and what was the guy's name who played the Joker?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
He only got his Oscar
Attention.
posthumously.
Delivering care package.
That's fair. I'm
Got
not
us
very
a
good
care
with names.
package coming in.
Yeah, I'm not either. When I remember them, it's honestly out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah, one of its last performances as Black Panther would be in What If, animated anthology series.
Oh, you recorded stuff for that?
Yep. Yeah, so where T'Challa is the Star-Lord instead of Black Panther.
Interesting.
Yeah, they really went out. So some of the premises have been really out there with What If.
And now we're starting to see with people who are now in the trade stuff for that, which is like, so what do we do? Because we still know Black Panther 2 is happening. So do we go the role of recasting? Because I've seen
They're not
going to
recast, nor are they going to use CGI with creations of him.
disrespectful. So it's like they would consider it disrespectful. So therefore, people have thought like for letting him die on it, or just keeping the character dead and having someone like Shuri or someone else have the title. But then I've seen other people argue that, well, why exactly can't he be recasted when we've recasted for other roles before? I can honestly see both sides of the argument. I'm not really sure I could have an answer for whatever approach they take.
Though speaking of Black Panther, Ryan Coogler will be doing a Wakanda series on Disney Plus.
I saw that, and I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, at least there's something good out of it. Even though that we will...
The thing is, I actually didn't even know that was T'Challa who was actually taken by Yondu, honestly. Because it was a kid, I wasn't sure it was actually him.
That's him. And the captions, if you enable them, say it as such.
That explains it, because I watched the conference call and I didn't have captions on, so I wasn't actually able to see that.
That's perfectly fair. They had the captions up for on YouTube.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alright, I'm gonna take a look.
I'm really excited to go and see that What If series because I always liked What If scenarios for whether things ended up going well or not.
Yeah, like evil Doctor Strange. What happened if Peggy got the Super Soldier Serum instead of Steve Rogers?
And that was an interesting one I never considered. Like, what if instead of Peter Quill, what if it was instead T'Challa? When it's like, oh, okay, that's actually like a pretty cool what if scenario.
Yeah, out there, but and the classic what if Loki is considered worthy of wielding Mjolnir or Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Yeah, and speaking of which, guess who's back in Guess who's in Vision? Daisy.
Yeah, from the first 2 Thor movies. I never thought she was going to come back.
Yeah,
I guess the TV shows are starting to bring characters from the older movies back. Like, I believe the actress who played Betty Ross in The Incredible Hulk is due to return for She-Hulk as well.
And so is Abomination, surprisingly.
So it's like, yeah, it looks like the TV shows will be bringing in some of the older stuff that they haven't really utilized. I at least just hope that this means we'll eventually get the leader to go and come in as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. And so far, yeah, and Agent Wu from the second Ant-Man movie. I keep on figuring I'm not Bloodhound. Because I played like Bloodhound last couple matches and I was the
Yeah.
Alright. So, ooh, that's a pretty good combination. Good thinking. So anyway, like Wonder Woman is looking really good. It's really good. I really enjoyed the first 4 episodes so far. Let's hope the rest of the season holds up. And as
she is with Elizabeth Olsen apparently also speaking of some big cameo that is expected to come in very soon. So I'm just curious as to what exactly that's going to be.
If the Google cast is any indication, James Spader and Evan Peters, James Spader as Ultron and Evan Peters as of all people a version of Quicksilver.
Interesting.
Yeah, there were some pretty big leaks.
I didn't see them because honestly, I still like. Even if I often believe that they are fake, but I still don't read them just in case they end up turning right.
Yeah, still, it's just like a dick move for whoever leaked that show.
Whatever gives you clout online, and it's going to make sure that you get reputable followers.
Like
it's
the ones who
like the ones, but there's no denying that it does get you known.
Like the ones who keep on claiming
that's
that
how people in certain gaming communities often get known because they're like, oh, this is a reputable.
Like the ones who keep on insisting that Disney will somehow work on out the sequel trilogy when the sequel trilogy alone has made about $4.5 billion, and B, Carrie Fisher, you're gonna wash away Carrie Fisher's last performances.
And also there's the other factor, no, it is not disliked by general audiences. It's in fact, for the most part, well liked by audiences.
Yeah, but yeah, at this point we keep on repeating that. Repeating that same point.
It's always good to always have that reminder of it, since a lot of people, especially on those ones, tend to always forget on that stuff.
Using the Phoenix kit.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna take a look through. Yeah, it looks like they're just.
And also, it's kind of funny considering that Dave Filoni on record has actually said that Rian Johnson influenced him a lot when he was actually going into live action.
Yeah. Yeah, surprising Rian Johnson. I wonder if he said the same thing about J.J. Abrams.
So far, he seems to be on good terms with him. I haven't seen anything to say that he dislikes the guy.
Yeah. Anyway, although it's a bit of a bummer that that Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 will not be released this year. even if I have my
Although Diablo Immortal hasn't been released yet, so I'm
Diablo
not
4.
really surprised, at least on the Diablo front, because it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the mobile game that actually got much more marketing was going to end up coming out first before 4.
and I see some gameplay footage of Diablo Immortal. Looks decent. It looks pretty decent at least.
Yeah, I've been told by the people who, like, Acid Game Notes said when people did playtests and they were able to go and listen to it, that they were like, yeah, this game's actually really good and I really like it. They were like, oh yeah, I really didn't think that it was going to be all that good, but I played it and it's really great.
Yeah, but kind of reminds me of how Valve introduced people who were vocally against Left 4 Dead 2, given on how game development works, and they came out with changed minds. That's actually a real thing. Look it up.
That Valve did what?
Like they brought in a couple of people who were quite vocal against Left 4 Dead 2's release, and they basically gave them a bit of a tour of how it works, and the people that were quite vocal changed their minds.
Interesting.
Allfather, give me sight. Making contact.
It's an interesting approach, that's for sure.
The fuck?
That
That guy's just like,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one of the new things with Octane's jump pads, like if you run over and jump on it, you go further up.
behind you, Lord.
Yeah. So if you hop on if you hop on Octane's jump pads, you'll be flying straight up, mostly straight up. But if you crouch instead, you just be sent flying forward. So vertical, standing, horizontal, crouching.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly surprised that there's a Werewolf the Apocalypse game that came out. There was a little fanfare to it. Oh. Yeah, looking forward. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to as we keep on repeating, Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
I'm just curious to see what's going to be announced later this year. Once even though we won't be having E3 this year either, because again, pandemic. But it does make me wonder what's going to be announced.
Not kind of let up this.
I don't expect a Star Wars game to be announced during this because we have the Lego Star Wars game coming out in fall, and I highly doubt they'd be having 2 Star Wars games releasing close to each other.
Yeah, reminds me of moving the release date for with the Force Awakens, so it wouldn't steal or hog up the spotlight with Age of Ultron. I would not be too surprised if Ultron appears in WandaVision, considering that he has a past both in the comics and in the movie with Wanda and Vision.
I wish for one thing.
Yeah.
Results.
Yeah, so I'm Caustic, also known as what MovieBot would be in a video game. Heyo,
Right.
Get it?
I get it. But yeah, as far as it, because at least from what I've seen, the guy who voices Ultron seems to have not really done much work, though, between Age of Ultron and today, which is quite surprising. So,
yeah, I'm still surprised. Yeah, I would still be surprised if Evan Peters ended up being Quicksilver in that show. Like, how the hell did that happen? How the hell did that happen?
I believe it's this week that they're actually releasing 2 episodes on the same week.
Oh shit! Really?
I believe that was the case because that was tweeted out officially for that. I believe it was because of the leaks that happened, so therefore they're like, okay, we gotta release it early.
And I was like, yeah, fuck it. If it's ready, it's ready. We'll just release 2 at a time.
But still, I very much prefer the weekly release format because it gets me very excited for what happens next.
Yeah.
Whereas I find shows that go with the whole, oh, hey, you just binge it all in one go, is that it's hard to retain it all. So you only ever end up remembering the highlights.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's definitely a thing with Netflix. Yeah, they have a tendency to
Like,
release
I'm
older.
not against the Netflix model. I just think it's really just not one that's for me, really.
That's
I
perfectly.
do get the wanting of that
Good,
model
we're
because,
inside.
after all, like having it all in one go, so you can just get the answers that you're looking for as soon as an episode ends, is something you want to have. But also, let me not get punished because I didn't have 8 hours to spend right as soon as it got dropped.
So weekly release actually helps with schedule.
That's
Yeah, I still like my job at MoviePod when I happen to pick Caustic because it just gives me heavy MoviePod vibes. Sorry, Winston Snark, but MoviePod's a dick.
no, I don't deny that though.
Oh, like, oh my god, he's yeah. Before we, I would like to say quickly, he's a big ass dick. Like, I'm not. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I get it.
Anyway, oh my god, I just realized that Lord of the Rings will be open to IMAX for the first time. And during
Lord
the
of the
pandemic.
Rings?
Yeah, the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Well, I'll at least be trying to catch a screening because at least in my watchings of movies, I haven't really had problem with like crowds in there. Like at most, there's maybe like 3 or 4 other individuals in the theater. Not exactly what I'm really worried.
Alright, okay, I got Chupatra.
Kill leader.
Okay, I'm gonna be really extra mean and and sort of gas up next to this down opponent because I'm playing some bad guy. Oh shit!
Yeah, he's down for it.
Yeah, did that? Ow! Someone shot me with a sniper rifle close to point blank range. Hey. Okay, connecting the lobby. So I saw you. So you've been talking on Discord that you've been playing some of the Call of Duty games, especially the most recent one.
So far, I was because I felt that I just wanted to go back into it, basically. So for me, I decided to go and replay the original Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, as well as also Modern Warfare's 2 and 3, as well as the rebooted Modern Warfare. Then I also ended up going to and then afterwards I was replaying the World at War, as well as Black Ops' 1, 2, as well as Cold War. I didn't touch 3 or 4 because 3 is more of a spin-off than an actual sequel, and 4 doesn't even have a campaign.
Yeah.
So
Why?
it just really wasn't worth it for that. But for me, I've been saying that by replaying it though, and like it has honestly been sort of like very cool to see how different these games have been, though.
Yeah,
From that, and specifically,
have you also played Ghost and Advanced Warfare? And if in Warfare,
I played Ghost and Advanced Warfare, yes. Haven't played Infinite Warfare yet, though. I am thinking that once I save up some money, that I'll probably go and get it just to play it out of curiosity, since I never actually did play it. And then by that point, I would have played pretty much every game in the series, basically.
so how does
For
how do these Call of Duty games hold up, especially with the
On
with
average, I
Cold
would
War?
say they hold up very well. More often than not, I walk away with, wow, I was really satisfied with what happened.
My phone's not ever on alarm. I gotta check on the lasagna I put in. Give me a sec. I'll be
Oh
right
yeah,
back.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Had to take the house dog out for a bit.
Oh, you're good.
So yeah. Oh, I gotta close the door real quick. So yeah, not surprisingly much to talk about. The last time, I remember talking about it before, but the last movie I actually saw in theaters, like late last year for Christmas, I talked about it, was that Monster Hunter movie. I think I explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was rather sparse. I think I have a similar experience to yours. It was pretty sparse, except for, no, now I think about it, I think that we even had like a seat apart from like between me, my brother, my stepmom, and my dad.
Oh, all right.
I might be remembering it wrong, but that's the thing. Have you heard that that Netflix tried to start up a live-action Legend of Zelda series, only for it to be canceled because of a leak?
Live action what?
Live-action Legend of Zelda series for Netflix.
I wasn't aware of that. This will probably be my last match for the night, though, as well. So just
That's
let
fair.
you know in advance.
That's fair. So Adam Conver, of Adam Ruins Everything, he and not only that, but he and College Humor were working on a secret project. This is from Game Informer, to create a claymation Star Fox in vein of Wes Anderson's fantastic.
Repeat who was involved in it?
Adam Conover of College Humor fame of Adam Ruins Everything.
Yeah.
He and the Culture were working on a project to create a claymation.
Colin who?
College Humor,
Not sure who that is.
College Humor, bit of a online thing where they make humor skits and stuff, and which is also responsible for the creation of Adam Ruins Everything, where Adam tells you about teaches people about some of the things in a comedic style. That's a lot of short of
They
it.
should have known that fighting me is
Like Adam
bad.
Ruins the internet, that sort of thing.
Dumb.
This might be a good place to land.
So anyway, so they tried to make a claymation Star Fox like in the style of Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I take that back.
Even Netflix was on board until, well, it got leaked.
Seems
someone
weird that
someone
they have
Netflix
a
leaked.
series over just a leak, but
Yeah, you know how student, if that's the right word, that Nintendo is with their intellectual properties.
I
They're
know that's why that
strict.
Mario movie has been in production for God knows how long. For that, it's still apparently being made, but
by
Nintendo
this one studio who did the Grinch and Despicable Me series and stuff.
I don't really care that they made like a couple of iffy movies though on it, because again, any movie studio I like has made iffy movies too.
That's fair. I'm gonna take all of that stuff. Yeah, just something.
And also, it's a Mario movie. I'm not really exactly sure, honestly, with how Illumination does things. That honestly
Illumination.
seems like
That's
it would fit
right.
the
Okay,
Mario.
that's what they're called. Like I said,
Yeah.
go with the names.
I mean, because I enjoyed at least the first Despicable Me, which was good, and honestly, I saw Sing like about a few years ago, and that movie actually wasn't too bad either.
It slaps, huh?
It was really good. I mean, it's not the sort of thing I'd watch though, personally, but I would say as far as like for kids to be concerned, as far as like family movies go, it was a pretty good one.
Agreed.
So I would say like I have confidence in this, and also because of how they handle humor, that honestly feels like it would fit Mario quite well, honestly. I mean, it's not like it has no precedent in it.
The Mario live-action movie from the 90s.
Yeah, that was definitely quite the experiment there.
Yeah. Alternative reality where dinosaurs did not go extinct. That's weird.
Very much.
I'll be over there.
Following your path.
Oh, another thought of mine. So Apex Legends is coming to the Switch next month. I'm gonna have to check out the exact date. Thank you, Game Informer, for being very informative. It's in the name, March 9th. So yeah,
So
that means Wizard Ark, Wizard Ark, and I could play Apex Legends together.
1 minute remains.
Crossplay, remember?
that'll be fun at least.
Crossplay.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, crossplay, remember? Yeah.
So that'll be at least nice to go and see. At least, fortunately, it supports crossplay, so at least that'll
Yeah, that's
be
what I
nice.
said. Crossplay.
45 seconds until ring closure.
All right, we better start heading to the inside of the circle.
The circle of life. Which, come to think of it, is kind of true.
Half a minute. Ring is near.
Attention.
Yep, let's book it. Book it. Book it. Book it. Book it. Book it. Book it.
Yep.
Book it. Book it.
Kill leader. Watch for them.
So, what kind of weapons do you prefer to use in Apex Legends? Just curious.
Honestly, I try to prefer mainly the light machine guns that I mainly try to prefer to keep up with.
Yeah, have you tried the new weapon? The new weapon that came out for this season, the 3030 repeater.
I have not actually picked that up yet.
Yeah, so basically, it's a lever action rifle that uses that uses heavy ammo.
Let's go.
When you aim, it could do more damage. When you aim for a bit, you can do more damage with it.
Oh, I hope I come across it at some point.
I'll pin it when I see it, so you can try it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Bless me with sight.
And speaking of the frontier, do you know what feels like a missed opportunity since it's a snowy wasteland? Snowball
What?
fights.
Maybe a bit too hard to implement, but that would have been fun.
Mostly-
I do like that because it was snow, they actually implemented that in the gameplay where your character had to, particularly in the more snowier areas, to actually wear gear that was meant to repel it,
I'm
or
not
else
sure.
like he would actually freeze.
Yeah, I'm not sure they actually implemented that, but still, neat idea. Not like not side of like radiation, but like just a debuff.
Like, it was supposed to be that game's idea of it. I don't remember if it was implemented, but I know that
Yeah,
was
like I
something
said.
they were trying to do.
Yeah, still
At least from the
snowball
interview
fights.
that I watched.
Snowball fights. That just seems like a good opportunity to
Open supply bin
basically like connect to the story on a small personal level. Especially if you do with
Certainly.
kids, and especially player characters with evil comment can resort to putting stones in the snowballs, because why not?
Sentinel over
Exactly.
here. Interesting weapon.
Only half the
Oh, so this is what it is?
No, that's not it. That's a sentinel. Sorry, I take that back.
Yeah,
Made a poor choice.
Yeah, so isn't that it?
No, that's right. That's a sentinel. That's like that weapon appeared like from a couple seasons ago. Ooh, I'll take that. I'll keep an eye out. For some reason, in this session, it's pretty rare. Either that, or people just love to pick things up. I don't blame people for picking things up because it's a game where you pick things up.
shield here. Level 2.
I could use that.
So for Apex Legends, so Switch players will have a bit of head start. They'll get about 30 levels or so, 33 levels for their Season 8 Battle Pass, and get double XP for the first 2 weeks. Perfectly fair because perfectly fair. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, of course I do.
And for what I could tell, it looks like the comic pages for Season 8 and the treasure hunt are separate. Which I would like to say, thank God, because...
I don't think we should go this way, because that's going to be...
Yep.
Oh no, we're still in the circle, so never mind.
Yeah, we're still in the Circle of Life, and I see a care package. I'm gonna check it out. Now, I wonder if the things for the Xbox One systems are still available. My brother tried to get it for me and him with the monthly payment, but people just love to snatch things. Wow.
Doesn't help that there's a lot of scalpers on the internet. Too.
Scalper? Where did that word come from?
I don't know where the word comes from, but basically it just means when people buy something and then sell it at an exorbitant price. I first knew of them in the concert area, where it's a common practice, particularly for musicians that don't go on tours much, to basically buy tickets to a showing and then sell it to them for twice the price.
Ah, makes sense. I see, like
And
that.
then, yeah, that's what we're seeing here, basically. That's why, like, I'm seeing a website that's constantly advertising, oh, yeah, like, we have Xbox Series X's, but they're $800.
What a bunch of dicks.
It's
Seriously,
like, if
they're
you're
a bunch
gonna
of
buy
dicks.
it, at least go and use it.
Yeah, seriously, that's just a dickish thing to do, especially during the pandemic when people need some sort of, like, you know, escapism.
Especially considering that because of the pandemic, they can't make the consoles nearly as fast as they
We
normally
have the
would.
benefit. We are inside the ring.
Like I said, dicks.
Replicator incoming.
Sorry, that really made me angry.
I know, understandable though. I mean, I'm still annoyed that they did that.
Yeah. I'm so annoyed at them. Not at the console manufacturers of the Xbox Series X and the PS5. They wouldn't have known. They wouldn't be able to do anything. Just stop buying consoles so you can sell them at higher prices. Damn. Whoop. Whoops. Whoops. Didn't mean to. Give me a second. Oops. Closed out the window by accident. Oh, there we go. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I accidentally closed the window. Bit of a bad habit. So I was just really grumpy about the availability of PS5s and
And that's the other thing, is that even though they're expected to restock coming in
is it May or March?
in May, we honestly don't even know as to what the stock situation is going to look like.
May? Seriously?
No, in April. It's supposed to be like very late April. At least I've seen they're like, don't expect a restock until April 31st, but we also don't know what the situation is going to look like when that happens. Like, will there still be enough to make up for the demand? And also because there's the COVID stuff, though, that we always also have to consider.
Yeah, I just kind of wish those vaccines would hurry up. But on the other hand, yeah, the fucking
Unfortunately,
mutations.
vaccine delivery, it hasn't exactly been the fastest or the most the best well administered.
And also mutations.
That too, but the mutations don't look as if they're like, you know, extremely terrible though. At least I think that they can't make it at least can't combat in a reasonable manner.
Yeah, at least we have a competent president this time, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot of
exactly.
fire. That's a lot of fire. Holy shit.
Putting down a fence.
Where?
There were like fires over there and over there. So, so you probably see me as Fuse, where I accidentally used like a thing of knuckle clusters when I was when I for some dumb reason I thought it was a bloodhound. Oop. Out.
Not even. Multiple
Yeah, I
squads
see
attack.
where the gunfire is, at least vaguely. Oh yeah, I see it.
Battling near me.
Taking cover.
So am I.
Taking a moment to heal.
So
Taking a
I'm
moment
running out of
to
things to
recharge
say. Not much in the way of news, huh?
Yeah, true.
Need to recharge my shields.
Oh god! Sometimes I just love having someone play as Watson because of this. Restores the shields a little slowly, but bit of a lifesaver. Holy shit!
Blessings upon us. Our replicator descends.
And in other interesting news, slow news these days, where there's the Mandalorian themed Limtime event for Fortnite, where or where a player could either be the Mandalorian or his targets. And interesting.
I don't play Fortnite, but even still, I think that's a pretty cool event to do.
Yeah, it is. Oh, 117 of damage. Wow.
I'm taking shots.
That's a hell of a punch, I swear.
Healing my wounds.
Okay, I'm healing up.
Passing myself
You
up.
okay there?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're breathing a little funny.
Oh no, I'm good. I just only scratch my throat that way.
Ah, okay.
I'm taking shots.
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna scan.
All father, kill
Oh, we got a full squad.
Yeah.
taking fire.
I'm fencing. The fence is complete.
Alright. Shit! Okay, that was close. They got a fuse, they got a fuse.
Shit, grenades.
Yeah, a fuse can create an extra grenade per slot, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, originally in previous versions of Apex Legends, characters can carry 2 grenades per slot, but they changed to 1.
I am taking fire.
Nice, that was a nice shot.
Recharging my shield.
Reloading. Portal's ready.
Okay, not a bad spot.
We are inside.
Not the bad.
Package coming.
Good thinking, good thinking. That's actually not bad thinking. So why would you place that portal? Oh, there's a ring of fire.
I'm down. I'm near me.
I there just want to make sure you're there. Yep, you suddenly got
Yeah, yeah, I'm still there. This is not seeing it out.
Okay, got the ow.
But alive.
Alright, I'm inside. Hope this is gonna end well. Oh.
No, this won't.
Yep. Well, at least we put up a thing.
I'm fine at least.
Fight. Yeah, a fight. So, I'm searching. My lasagna should be ready by now. It was a good one. So I take it that we're done for tonight.
Yeah, that'll be it for me on tonight. So, it was really great playing with you, and so we'll try to make sure we do something again next week.
Yeah. Well, so we will see you next week or later. Hopefully with another player. Another player.
Yep, that'll be the idea.
Alrighty.
All right.
Right.
See you later, Nord.
See you later. And here comes the cavalry. We're going to be raiding Motoko Devo. See you later. Good night. And here we go.